we're back.
I'll take the blame for that one. I guess that's what I get for turning that off. I should have known that it was something major. That thing was using 30% of the frickin' CPU.
It doesn't make any sense. Like you said, we've had some video stutters in recent weeks, and we reformatted the PC, and we did a test the other day, and we were running, when a video was running, we were using like 30-40% CPU, which is much lower than what I had previously done. So, yeah, that was an odd one. Sorry about that.
So let's just wait a minute till people join us. I think we got through the iRacing news.
Yeah, we pretty much did for the most part. Let me pull this up. There we are. Okay.
Yeah, it's not the same if we don't have problems. You guys should get used to that.
Unfortunately, this stuff does happen. Live. Let's see.
Well, we got 62 watching as of right now.
Well, hopefully we'll get them all to come back over. Let's see there. To donate for a new PC.
I saw that one.
Maybe. Like I said, we'll have to figure out what's going on with this one. It isn't the newest PC. We put I put my old graphics card in it. I was running.
That's the problem.
That's
I'm
it.
Just kidding.
My fault. Because I was running the R9 280, 285. Can't remember the top of my head. Was in my PC before I got the GTX 970. So when we reformatted this PC, decided to put the new graphics card in it to get more power, because it works pretty well on a single screen.
Yeah, and so far so good. As far as we didn't get an error on that.
No, we didn't.
Bring the script up here. Sorry. So I'll get us. Why don't you get the script going there? I'll go to the next news item because people still will be able to watch it on demand. So anyway, we're just finishing up on iRacing. I think we just talked about the cars, and then I took everything down one fell swoop. Okay, so next up we're going to talk about Raceroom and the F.4 Tattoos is coming. And that car is used in a number of series, including the F4 Italian Championship, the ADAC F4, and the NES F4, which is, I guess, Russian. And a very similar looking car produced by Tattoos will become the new Pro Mazda and USF 2000 cars here in the U.S. In 2017 as part of the Mazda Road to Indy.
Yeah, it was a manufacturer I never heard of. I never heard of any of this, to be honest. And since we don't have it here in the U.S., but it's a cool looking car.
It is.
And it's going to kind of fill the gap between the FR Junior, which is a fictional car, and then the FR2, which is also a fictional car that's more based off a GP2 car. So this kind of fills the gap, gives you a little more aero than the Junior car, but...
Isn't there one of those in Assetto Corsa? That name sounds familiar, the Tattoos.
Oh, I think there is. I think you're right. Now, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, I think that might be the one with, like, they have like a Lotus paint scheme as like the default scheme. So that's coming. And then what is also coming is the Nordschleife is coming to Raceroom. And yesterday, Sector 3 released a ton of photos. I think it was like 56 photos showing off the track, and it really does. It looks fantastic. Like I'm really excited to see this track come in the Raceroom. And yeah, I mean, graphics-wise, they've been stepping it up. It looks great, and also not only does it look great, they're showing all these detailed picture shots, and it looks like they're kind of going the iRacing route of we build everything that the laser scanners picked up, and they have a lot of great signs and buildings and everything from around the track, the gas station that's alongside the track. They're mapping all of it, and it's all going to be laser scanned, and there you can see all the graffiti. It looks like they're picking up at least all the graffiti I've seen. The road next to the track, So it looks great, and
it does. It looks amazing.
Definitely looking forward to this coming out. They didn't give a release date. They kind of gave the good old hashtag soon, but they did say it's coming out in the next patch in Raceroom. So, but it looks like it's going to be soon.
Yeah, and we should be doing a test drive of it, or I should say Billy should be doing a test drive of it. He's actually already checked it out. So, so yeah, we should be having that on the channel soon, along with some other pre-release Raceroom content.
So there you go. So if you want to learn more about it, harass Billy in chat.
Is Billy with us?
Yeah, I saw him in there earlier.
Yeah, so back to my screw up. My apologies for dropping the stream there. I guess I learned my lesson. Now I know what that does. We got to figure out why that thing is using so much CPU. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. So, moving on. Next up, going to talk a little bit about Racecraft, which in that intro that you might have seen on our first stream, talked about is kind of a different approach at a sim. I don't know if sim racing, at least a racing game. Let's say that at the very least. But essentially, it's a sandbox game where you can go and design your own tracks and design your own cars from the ground up. You can also let the game do it. Like there's like a random generator that can generate a track for you, and if you like the layout of the track, you can then go ahead and save the track and then race it again later. But the whole concept behind here, and it's from developers Victus, is that you can create anything you want. There's any number of possibilities of tracks out there, so it's definitely a different idea. It's one that I've never really thought of. But this is, but it was released on Steam Early Access on March 4th, and I think you can pick it up there for, I think it's like only like $20, or no, $15.99. So pretty cheap, but yeah, gonna be checking this out. Either I don't know, we're gonna check this out. Maybe we'll have Billy give us a go. The developers reached out to us and gave us a code. So,
well, and speaking of the developers, Andreas interviewed them at Gamescom last September, October or so, and they had mentioned during that interview that the guys from Kunos gave them some advice as far as the physics go.
Yes.
And I don't know how much of that translated over to it, but definitely an interesting concept.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how the community takes to it. Matter of fact, has anybody out there tried it? And if so, tell us in chat, because I'm curious to see what you guys think of it.
Yeah, it does seem like a title where the more people playing, the better.
Yeah.
You get more different tracks out there, and people can go and share tracks. But yeah, have to try that out.
Well, this isn't Victus's first go. They came out with another racing title a while back. I can't remember the name.
It's like
of it.
Road to Victory or something like that. Something like that. I don't remember what it was.
I don't think it did all that well, but
I don't think it did.
So anyway, anything else about Racecraft?
Nope. I think
you covered all of it.
I think that covers
Support
it.
for Thrustmaster and Logitech wheels. You mentioned that.
No, they do have that, and they're adding. Let's see here. Where are these notes? In the future, next 6 months, they're planning on adding a career mode, asynchronous multiplayer, which I'm not fully sure what they mean by that, VR support, and then regular multiplayer. So early access definitely has a lot more to go.
Do you remember the track that someone Apex V Gear? That's Tim.
Good memory.
More phallic tracks.
Yeah, one of our first live shows, we had that video, and we couldn't help but the track map looked a bit like a gentleman's part.
Yeah. Interesting choice for a track design. So, anyway, next up, let's move off of that now.
Yes.
That we left it there.
We'll leave it there. Next up, mod for Assetto Corsa.
Yep. Oh, you know what? They just said the chat screen isn't up, just in case you didn't.
Yeah, I got to work on that. I'll work on that. How about you take this?
Okay. Hopefully this isn't stuttering like a slideshow, which I have a feeling it's gonna, and we apologize for that. But so speaking of Billy, he was the first person outside the dev development and physics team to test drive this new mod for Assetto Corsa. It's the Lancia Fulvia 1.6 HF. And want to give a shout out to the devs here really quick. Rodrigo Sanchez Paz did the 3D and 2D modeling. Matthias Rivas did the physics, and the sounds were done by Jaron Van Iperen. So Billy said he had a blast driving this thing. And the car has a bunch of unique features like wobbling exhaust, shaking knob and gear stick that's sensitive to engine input. It'll pull slightly to the right under acceleration. The keychain is animated by physics. And, yep, things are stuttering. Lag.
Okay. Well, let me pull.
We'll work on it for next week. You know, we can just drop the video and just talk about it. The 3D model, it's 100% accurate. It's just like the Fulvia 69 or 67/69 with striped interior. And these guys put a lot of care and detail into this car, and it really shows. And again, like I said, Billy loved driving it. We need to check that thing out. It looks like a fun car. So he took it out to Nordschleife, which I guess that car actually has raced at many times. Kind of sounded by the way they were talking about it that it's actually still racing. But the guys, the developers, actually met with a Fulvia owner to take measurements, and they're from Argentina. So they had access to that. So anyway, pretty cool mod. Looks like those guys really put a lot into it. And based on what they told me, it definitely sounds like it. And a lot of people are looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, you mentioned how you're like, it looks like a car that should be in Assetto Corsa. And I was kind of like, oh, well, let's see. And I watched the video and was kind of like, oh, yeah, that looks legit. Maybe it's a candidate for another car to take from a modder and put it in the game like they did with the Cobra.
Yeah. People were talking about it in chat before the show. So I think that was where. Well, no, maybe it was in the comments about a lot of these mods, transitioning over to the console. And this is a perfect example of a mod that would be great to transition over to the console. And I don't know if they'd have to get a license for it since.
Yeah, that's what they said about the Cobra. That they liked the mod, and then they had to go out and get official license for it before they could actually officially offer it.
So I would imagine that's the case for pretty much anything that's going to be a mod transitioning into the console side of Assetto Corsa, or any title for that matter. They, for the developer to officially support it and have it in their title, they need to get the license,
yes,
or else they can get in big trouble.
Yes.
So, anyway, next up.
Gonna talk about Kaden, and oh boy, it's another video.
Well, luckily this video's pretty short.
Yeah, let's roll it here.
And it's low res. So Kaden is an 11-year-old sim racer, and as you can see here, this is his setup. He's running on the PS4, and he's actually got a digital dash hooked up, and there he goes to touch his button box there. But watch this kid heel and toe the way he drives. I mean, for 11 years old, I don't even think I've ever heard what heel and towing was at 11 years old. But this guy can drive, so he hit us up to see if he can do some test drives to compliment Billy, our new test driver. And he is a little limited as far as what he could provide to us. He only has a PS4. He filmed this with his phone, which only gave us like 600 by 400 resolution. But man, I gotta say, we would definitely consider him for the future, because this kid can really drive.
No, he can. I mean, this is, like I said, 11 years old. Good parenting.
Yes. Yes. Tom Jones just said, Kaden has some cool parents. As a matter of fact, he was telling me, we were talking back and forth in emails, that him and his dad were going to run a 6-hour race. This is in Project Cars. They were going to run a 6-hour race together. So, anyway, it's really cool to see this 11-year-old just wheeling it.
Yeah. No, that's pretty awesome. And then also, like you mentioned, project cars on the PS4, and we have secondary displays and button boxes, and it's like that's great that they have that functionality, and something that people keep on asking.
Yeah, somebody just said the next Gregor Hutu, and that's funny because he looks kind of like Gregor Hutu. And I thought that next Alien 2.0, another comment. But yeah, someone just said that will be my son. As you see John look off camera, John's girlfriend's sitting down over here. So
yeah, she's in town visiting, so I just gave a knowing look.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't have any boys, so I'm hoping that maybe I get a grandson.
Yeah.
Turn him into a sim racer. But anyway, that was really cool. Thanks, Kaden, for sharing that video with us. Very much appreciated. I'm definitely gonna be keeping in touch with him if I can. But that was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Yes. No. Keep up. You and your dad keep up the racing. That's awesome.
So, I redid the poll question.
Oh, okay. So that's up there for people to vote again?
It should be.
Over there.
We definitely lost some viewers in the transition. Yeah, so here I'm going to vote on it. So, what do you guys think about the new iRacing build? 33% they love it. 66% don't have iRacing. Doesn't look like that many people voted.
I don't think that many people voted.
Yeah, so vote on the poll up here. It should be right around here. You click on the I.
I think that's called 3 votes.
Probably. 66 and 33%. So, and I'm the one vote that said love it. So,
well, I mean, circling back around there, since that was kind of, especially for people coming in later, they missed out on our first attempt at the live stream. I thought it was a great iRacing build.
It's one of the biggest builds they've had in a while. 4 new cars coming to it too, so
yes.
It was a big build, and new sounds for just about every car, and
new sounds. DX11, which seems and it's interesting seeing the response to DX11. I've seen things all over the place. Some people are like, I got more frame rates. Other people are like, I have less, but it runs smoother, which is what we're experiencing. I thought I saw someone here in chat before the show said it's running choppy still. So,
well, something I saw in iRacing, in the iRacing forums, is people talking about making sure you have the most current drivers too, because that could definitely affect what's going on. Matter of fact, speaking of new drivers, NVIDIA had released a driver, I think it's 360.47, that was causing anybody that had multiple monitors, their systems were crashing.
Yes.
And I think they've since pulled it down because I was getting a notification to download the new driver, and it was back to, I think it's just 360.00.
Okay.
So I think they've pulled that one down, and they're looking into fixing it, but there was definitely some issues with that. But anyway, I've heard to update your drivers, which I need to do. So hopefully that'll.
Well, and also if you decide to run DX11, you need to run the graphics utility over again.
Yes.
Because
it automatically will.
It did
for me.
Did it? Okay. So some people have gone to DX11 and said it runs terrible, and someone said run the utility. They run it. They go, oh, never mind, guys, it's fine now.
Because when I switched to it yesterday, it forced running the auto config.
Okay.
And you were running still on DX9 when Angela was driving earlier.
Was I still on DX9?
Yeah, because I saw when it was booting up, it was saying DX9.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay. Yeah.
Anyway.
But no, that was strong build. Lots of good stuff there.
Yep. And then last week's poll question was, you interested in automobile lease stuff? And this was close. 48% said yes, and 51% said no.
Yeah. So hey, taking 50%, that's still a pretty good take for a smaller developer like Riza. And yeah, like Darren said, I think on the first show, we'll be trying to talk to Renato next week. And
I did say it on the first show.
Okay, yeah. So
matter of fact, he just got. I saw that an email came in from him. Let me see what it says here really quick. He said, "Yep, that's fine. Actually, suits him better." So looks like we will be interviewing Renato Simeone from Ritza on next week's show.
Yep.
I just got to send him a confirmation next week on the 15th.
Oh, and as women here in chat says, some people with like running programs in iRacing like Sim Commander, they've had to go and kind of find workarounds.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I've talked to Bernie at Sim Experience, and you probably won't need to do the workaround fairly soon, because they're going to do a fix in Sim Commander too to add those executables. Yeah. Actually, all you're doing is adding either the 64-bit DX11 executable to the weight. There's a line in the settings for iRacing. It says wait on, and it's basically waiting on the executable to kick on. Oh. Anyway, they're fixing that. Yeah,
like anything with a new build. I know like they came out with the D3D gear, which is a new in-house, in-sim video capture, where you can go in and through hotkeys, I don't remember the combination, it was like Control-Alt-Shift-9 or something, you could capture video and then it shows up in your My Documents under videos. And the issue with that, and we kind of ran into this in alpha testing back in December, is sometimes, well, I don't know sometimes, but it won't let XSplit run. So some people they weren't able to run XSplit with that enabled. And I guess there's somewhere in the app INI where you can go and turn that video capture to off, where you just turn it from a 1 to 0. Now I will say, Michael Tuck, who in here usually, I'm not sure if he's in here this week, he said on Facebook that he tried that and it didn't work for him. So I'm not fully sure where that's at. But yeah, new build, all these kind of secondary things.
Back to Kaden really quick. He's in our chat. So everybody say hi to Kaden. He's the 11-year-old sim racer. He's joined us in chat. So say hello to you guys in chat. Say hello to Kaden. And Kaden, thanks again for sending me that video. That was really cool.
Yes.
But yeah, I saw, back to what you were just talking about, I saw people with the capture, the same problem that we were having.
Yeah, and we solved it by just deleting everything that was D3D gear related, I believe. But it took a while. Like I know it was like a Tuesday before the show, and we were like pulling our hair out trying to figure out how to get XSplit to run for the live show. So yeah, like I said, hopefully, I like to think that app INI makes sense, but hopefully iRacing clarifies that up either in the forums or publicly. And I hope eventually, kind of like our interview that we had with Tony Gardner back, what was that, 2-3 weeks ago now? I hope that things like that are in the app INI show up in the new menus eventually. Where
something like that especially.
Yeah, where you can click, you can say, yes, I want a function to be able to record, or no, I don't. And if you turn that off, then that allows your third-party programs like XSplit or OBS or whatnot to work properly. So hopefully that shows up and gets fixed.
Yes, I agree.
So
before we get to Q&A, we want to talk about
Stage 4?
Yeah, let's do in-studio happenings for the past week. So I think we talked about it briefly last week that we were pretty much done with the build of the Stage 4. But now it is complete and running, and we've been driving it. Well, mainly I've been driving it, but John definitely has turned some laps in it as well. And it's amazing.
Yes, it is.
And you're probably getting stuttering video because we just got a PC warning again. Wim earlier said, I think in our original, said, don't show the Stage 4, I'm going to get jealous. So this is with the default profiles in Sim Commander. And there's a little rear traction loss. And again, we apologize if you guys are getting stutters. But it really, this is at Sebring in the Daytona prototype. And this is with the default Sim Commander settings. It really kicks your butt. I mean, it really will throw you around quite a bit.
Yeah, and Sebring is going to be the most extreme example out there probably. I mean, Sebring is so incredibly bumpy.
Yes. So this is with the default setups. And now, in a second here, it's going to transition to me driving. Yeah, see, I was talking to Scott Holmes in one of our practice sessions. He would say, man, that thing looks like, thing's probably going to be knocking fillings loose. But anyway, I've tuned it down quite a bit. And again, it's going to transition. The video will transition here in a second, and you guys will see that. Someone said you might need to sell your Camaro to buy a better PC. Yeah, that's not happening. But anyway, it's amazing. So what do you think of it?
I mean, it really blew me away. And that was something, I jumped out and you're like, look at that shit grin on your face. It's kind of, because it's like, and normally, and I will say, when we test new hardware, it takes me a little bit of time to warm up to things. Like, it takes me a while to get used to it. And initially, pretty much anything we test, I'm kind of like, I don't know. It's okay. It's not that great. I don't know. And it takes time. And I approach things from a critical place, which I think is the best way to review stuff. But no, I jumped out of this thing and I couldn't believe it. Like, it feels, the seat movement, the traction loss, it all feels right. It feels like it's translating, and I know we know there's some kind of delay. We know it's not instantly, but it feels instantly. So it's close enough that I feel like you can go faster in it.
I honestly doubt there's. Okay, so here's the tune setup, and it's still work in progress. So you're going to see a lot less movement. But I got to say, man, when I go over bumps, I'm seeing it, and the chassis is reacting.
Yeah,
right when I'm hitting stuff.
Those actuators are so fast.
They are.
When you see them move, I mean, they are just really going.
Someone said, someone I think mentioned getting belts for the seat. Running what you guys saw originally, I would agree. The way I have it set here, it's not throwing you around as much. Someone also asked, can you run that when your family's, could you run the stage 4 with sleeping family? I mean, if the stage 4 is sitting right next to the sleeping family's bedroom, you're definitely going to hear the actuators.
Yeah.
But so this setup is downstairs compared to where our bedrooms are. I can't imagine that I'm keeping my family up, as long as I ran with headphones on. But it's not as loud as I was expecting. I mean, those actuators definitely make some noise though.
Yeah. No, they do squeak a little bit, but it's not as loud as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a little bit louder, and no, it's definitely. I mean, when you fire it up, the first thing that I hear is the sound. Your sound when the car motor. I'm hearing that over top of hearing any kind of sounds from motion. Yeah,
and having it cranked up, I'm not hearing it either. So, while we're on the subject, the other thing we've been doing, you actually need to get out on the track.
So far behind.
We've been testing for Sebring. We've had practice sessions up every day. As a matter of fact, there's one up right now, and we've been running it for 9 hours. And if you're interested in running in our practice session, go to our forum. There's an announcement that talks about the joining us for the 12 hours of Sebring, which is this Saturday, by the way.
Yes.
Are you going to be ready?
I don't know.
Angela, is he going to be ready?
I hope so. Friday's going to be a scramble. I got to get that. I got to figure out what team. How we doing teams?
I don't know. The way my shoulder's been feeling, I'm not even sure I'm going to be ready to race. So anyway, that's what's been going on in the studio, and we are loving the Stage 4.
It really is impressive. Like, I can't say anything else. I mean, you certainly get what you pay for. I mean, it's not a cheap piece of equipment, but you get what you pay for.
No, I'm going to be doing a first look at it as well, talking about the build, which probably took me, I mean, with the filming and everything, it was probably 50 hours. But that's probably double. And I will have a clip with the sound, with everything. We just didn't want it having to talk over it.
Yeah.
But, that thing is built like a tank. It's the powder coating is all high gloss. Anyway.
It's all steel.
Yeah, it's steel. It's heavy. The thing weighs over 400 pounds. I'm running 20. Someone had just asked what monitor size. Excuse me, and it's they're 27-inch BenQs, the same ones that I had, and I'm using my the JCL 2B Faster monitor stand, which ended up just being wide enough to fit within the traction loss. So and someone's saying I got to try Dirt Rally with it.
Well, that's what I was thinking when we were watching earlier. It's like Dirt Rally or maybe the new Super Trucks in Automobilista.
Yes.
Landing in
or Rallycross. Yeah, we definitely gotta try some other. I've only tried iRacing so far.
Yeah, I know someone else earlier asked what it feels like on the oval, and what was your take from
it felt great.
An oval? And it wasn't really pitching.
I only ran the that Indy car yesterday, so
and
I haven't run a. Oh no, I ran the truck at Phoenix briefly too. It felt great. I would build this in 2 hours. It's going to take you 2 hours to unpack it there, Laned. There is no possible way that anybody could build that thing up in 2 hours. Speaking of which, we have to build that thing at iRace for Life.
I know.
Because we're getting a stage 4 there, and John and I are going to be responsible for building it. We're gonna have to get up, and we can't start till Tuesday.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to get up first thing Tuesday morning. By the way, Travis, you want to come? Tim, you want to come join us early Tuesday? Help us build the stage 4. Anyway, there's no way somebody could build it in 2 hours. Scott was giving me crap. Dude, I already have that thing built. What's taking you so long? People on Facebook were giving us crap too.
It takes some time.
Yep. Well, the instructions say it takes about 24 hours, and
probably about right.
Yep. So anyway, on to Q&A because we're running short on time. We're gonna cut today's show a little short because people keep asking about the RS8. We're gonna film that right after the show, and then I got to get to physical therapy. So. Anyway, let's get on to Q&A.
Sure. So here's a question we got from Twitter the other day. Mr. Laney32 asked, what do you both aim for graphically in sim racing, beauty or performance?
I'm performance.
Yeah.
I'm more for performance. I mean, I would love to have more eye candy, but running 3 screens, especially like in iRacing where you're rendering each screen separately, it can definitely tax the PC more. And I'm up for... more performance, keeping the frame rates up versus, I don't want things dipping down, anywhere close to even 60 frames a second. So
yeah,
I think you feel the same way.
Well, I'm gonna give a real cop-out answer. I'm gonna say a combination of both. I definitely try to run. I don't know. I like things that look pretty. So there was a time where I was racing. Like an iRacing, and I was racing. I would begin a race off at 30 frames per second on the starting grid, which now I can't even fathom. Now I've kind of seen the light, and part of me kind of seeing the light of more frames per second is coming here and seeing Darren's setup because Darren was running, 200. You had a lot of things turned off, and you were running just a huge frames per second. So I've gone a little more that direction, turning off some of the eye candy and stuff like that, but. I don't know. I mean, I know in sim racing, a lot of people say I just care about the driving, I just care about the physics, the menus and the graphics and sounds and all this ancillary stuff. Kind of I don't really care about it. It's just physics, and I mean that's fine. But I like to see a little more of a global look at a title, and I want it to all be pieced together. I want to have good-looking graphics. I want to have good sounds. I want to have menus that look good and that make sense, are intuitive, good online, offline. So, yeah, I take a little more of a global look at it. So I'm going to say I'm kind of in the middle. I think to be a really good, strong title, you got to have both.
I agree. I would like to run with more eye candy, but... Again, it's just I would prefer the performance.
Yeah.
We need to give away another Audi TT code.
Oh, we do. I forgot about that.
We need to figure out a question that we could ask, and the first person to answer.
Okay. Well, let me ask this question. Think about it.
All right, you go ahead. I'll try to figure out something.
Yusuf Ashraf asked, hey guys, love the show. Where would you rank Project Cars and Assetto Corsa against all other sims out there? 16-year-old sim racer from the UK. Hey, good to see another younger sim racer. Boy, I don't know. This whole ranking things, a lot of it comes down to what you're looking for. I'm a firm believer there's no wrong answer. If you like something, you like something. Personally, there's some question here, like, what's your favorite title right now? iRacing.
That's the next question, as a matter of fact.
There it is. I mean, right now, iRacing for me is my favorite. I think, DX11, they've gotten a lot better. The new cars are an improvement. I've just always been a real big fan of iRacing. I like being able to jump online somewhat at any time and go race. But Project Cars and Assetto Corsa, I mean, they're kind of both up there. Especially when it comes to, Project Cars is a huge fan base, and it has, both of those have offline racing. Now, sometimes the AI is interesting. The video of Billy with the AI Project Cars, the Indy car.
The guy that how did he put it? The guy just lost his lunch.
He just lost his lunch, yeah. One of the AI cars, he was driving the test drive from last week, the IndyCar DW12 at Road America, and the AI kind of got air and then rolled over. So, but I do think AI overall in Project Cars isn't bad. Assetto Corsa, they have a little more ways to go.
And we got another 13-year-old sim racer in here.
Nice.
Okay, I got a question for the Audi TT Cup. Okay, so to win a code, actually we'll give away 2 codes. So the first 2 people that answer this question, so the second person may copy the first person, is going to be. So whoever answers this question will get, the 2 people will get a code for the Audi TT Cup and Raceroom. So it's going to be Raceroom related. And what was the car and track from Raceroom that we talked about earlier in the show?
Perfect.
How's that?
Perfect.
So first person to answer that in chat, first 2 people to answer that in chat wins a code for the Audi TT Cup compliments of Raceroom, Sector 3. I don't think we should have mentioned, by the way, I'm going to embarrass you guys really quick.
Yeah.
I don't think we should have mentioned Angela being here. Have you seen all the questions?
I'm seeing all the questions.
Here, I'm gonna say the last one. Will John go on bended knee and pop the question to his girlfriend live?
I'm not proposing to my girlfriend here in the basement.
No, I wouldn't recommend that either. But that's not the only. I mean, there's probably been about 30 questions about.
I know. I just keep strategically ignoring them.
All right. So, nope, Kaden, that's wrong. Okay, Avenger, you got it right. And
I'm seeing Isaac G.
And iDanX. iDanX. So, Avenger and iDanX, email me. You guys want a Audi TT Cup code? I'm going to give you guys my email address right here. Just put it in chat. So email me, and you guys can get a copy. Did it go through? I don't think it went through.
No. Oh, there it is. No, there's your email.
Okay, cool. Somebody didn't pop up. So, congratulations, you guys. You guys win a copy of. She's imaginary. Darren and John are messing with us. Angela, say hi.
Hi.
Yep. See, there you go.
Okay. Maybe that got picked up by a mic. I don't know.
It probably did. All right. Next question. Did you ask this one, the Eric Keibel?
No, I did not.
Hey, Darren and John, I'm thinking of giving the Blancpain Sprint Series and iRacing a try this spring, regardless of overall speed. Which of the GT3 cars would you say is the easiest to drive?
Probably still the BMW Z4. Z4 is
the Audi and the Mercedes are right there, though.
Yeah, I don't think they're super difficult. McLaren's probably still the hardest.
Well, the roof Porsche was.
Yeah, the roof. Well,
but it's not in there. It's not going to be in there this season, right?
No, it's not. Yeah, I was terrible at the roof. Yeah, I don't know. My only hesitation, I just don't feel like I've driven enough of the Audi and the Mercedes, setup-wise, to really try to give a good idea. But I know the Z4 is easy. But I definitely, it's going to be hard. I wonder what the split's going to be, what people drive. Because I know I'd be jumping the Mercedes.
And I'd be jumping in the Audi.
Exactly. And I feel like most people are going to be jumping into the new cars. Because, the McLaren isn't the latest and greatest. They now have a new car to replace the MP4 that they currently have. The BMW now isn't the latest and greatest because now there is the M6 replacing the Z4. So
in real life.
In real life, yeah, I'm talking about in real life. So no, it'd be interesting to see what kind of the split up is. But Then again, I'm sure whichever car is fastest will also be very popular because it's balance of performance, and it's kind of impossible to always get that perfect.
So Scott just mentioned you can test cars in iRacing now before you buy. Scott, I think that was just the testing session during the build.
Yeah.
I think you have to actually own the content to run it in test.
Yes.
Even though I think that they should do that. I think that would be really cool. Also, real quick in chat, what would you rather drive? That Mercedes AMG GT3 or the Audi R8 GT3? So let us know what's your preference. So this was an interesting one. This guy John Finnegan asks, what do you think of Fanatic pulling PS4 support?
I don't know anything of that.
I didn't hear about that either. So I guess the roof will still be in the Sprint Series. Audi will not be at Sebring.
No.
Atanas. I just met him. I hopefully got his name right because I just asked him. He was practicing with us. Atanas. He lives in Seattle, by the way. So anyway, John, not you, John Finnegan. We haven't heard that Fanatic pulled PS4 support. So it'd be interesting if they did. I don't know why they would.
Yeah, that wouldn't make any sense. Especially with a Gran Turismo Sport coming out this year.
Exactly.
You want to be on board for that.
All right, let's blow through these questions because we're getting close to the 1 hour mark. I guess we can go a few minutes later.
We go a few minutes over, but yeah.
Since I knocked down the stream 10 minutes in. Okay, so the next one, T-Bone, why don't you go?
Darren and John, is there a replacement for a T300 RS wheel in the near future? Wondering because on Amazon.ca, I assume that's Canada, they are blowing them out for $249.99 CAD, which is around $250 US dollar. Not that we've heard.
Did you say $249.99 or $349?
$349. $349 Canadian.
Right.
Which is saying about $250 US. I thought I said $349.
Now, is that just for the servo by itself, or is that the full set?
Yeah, which version is that? Because now they got just the base. Then they have, I assume they're still selling the stock system, where you get the two pedals.
Yeah, I would imagine so too.
And the basic steering rim, and then they have the integral set where you get the Alcantara wheel and the T3PA pedals. But no, haven't heard anything about that. But I don't. Maybe it could be something if they're lowering the price. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I haven't heard anything about that either. And I'd be really surprised if they would have something to replace that quickly.
Yeah, so it's only been out for
a little over a year.
Has it only been a little over a year?
The T300?
Oh, yeah. So, nope, probably not.
Andreas Andritzos. In a €100 budget, should I fix my old reclining bucket or get a used fixed bucket seat? Good question.
That's a good question.
I mean, I don't know how you... Well, if you like your old seat and you spend €100, maybe you should fix it. And if you can find a good used one, maybe you should get it. So that's a good question, though. And then our new buddy Kaden asks, can you use a TH8A with the G29 on the PS4? No, you cannot.
Nope. And then Bone Racer asks, with the new iRacing DX11 update, is it now possible to go for a graphics SLI? In the past, that was a problem. I believe so, and I asked, Wim's here in chat, and there we go, he's talking about SLI. But I hoping that you can. I think that was kind of the whole thought. And even before DX11 came out, I know Wim was talking about there's some workaround. They actually found in the iRacing forums how to get SLI to work in iRacing, which was kind of I don't know how they figured it out, but they did. So, no, I'm curious about that, because I do have a little bit of interest in SLIing my 970, since I think two of those would be pretty potent.
So this guy, Stefan Wilkes, said he tried the Kia during iRacing testing, and it was a lot of fun.
So I wonder if testing they were allowing you to drive anything.
I don't know.
Which, that's not what I was under the impression of, but...
Me either.
If it is, it's kind of a cool to take advantage of that loophole.
I'm curious if that site's even up still. It was testing.iRacing.
Yep. Yeah, from what I was understanding, it was just going to be up for the build, but you never know.
Yeah, it's not available right now.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. One other question I didn't have here on the main screen, Tom Jones asked earlier.
Is that the singer?
Yeah, the singer. Singer, I wanted to ask you, Darren, do you and John ever get competitive with each other with lap times?
Oh, I saw that. We have.
Sure.
When we did some test drives early on where we were actually competing against each other.
And I mean, and always, like if we're like, I know when we get ready for Daytona, like you were kicking my ass, so I was trying hard to kind of get at least in the ballpark.
But it's not like I'm not sharing or trying to help.
No.
So that for that particular race and for Sebring, you haven't run any laps.
No.
So I'm going to do whatever I can to help John get up to speed. We actually, I don't think, have we ever raced against each other? Besides like the test drives? Which we were just basically time trialing.
I don't think so. I don't think we've ever been in the same race.
I don't think so either.
I have to fix that.
Yeah. But no, we really don't get competitive against each other. If anything, like, again, testing for the Sebring or the Daytona 24-hour, I want to do everything. So I was faster, leading into that race, and John ended up pretty much catching up to me. And the funny thing is, after we ran some laps after,
Yeah.
you ended up beating my lap time. But I want to do everything I can to get John up to speed. So if I'm faster, he's just as fast as me. And it's just like we have one of our teammates, Bruno Ducarmo, in chat. Bruno goes out of his way to help us get up to speed and try to get as fast as him. So, as teammates, we definitely, want to help each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and going back to SLI, Wim just posted that. He says you can SLI, but right now it's far from ideal, getting some compatibility problems, and I'm sure the diehard tweakers will find a good one. So, yeah, I mean, SLI has always been, a challenge. I saw someone else wrote in chat, John, don't SLI, it's a pain or something. And it's like, yeah, it's not ideal. One graphics card is always the better, easier way to go. But still waiting for NVIDIA to come out with this Pascal.
Yeah.
One of these days, gonna hear something.
Andrew Packer, who's been practicing with us, he's like, oh, damn, I want to be in the test when John comes in. Because you haven't been in the test server.
I haven't. And
Hey, wait a second, Tom Jones. I think John would be faster because he's younger. Yeah, well, ask John who was faster at Daytona. Someone said we should bet $1. You know what the thing is, too? It's probably going to vary. Because I think, on average, like when we were testing in the IndyCar, you were a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
So I think it's really going to depend on the car and the track combo. I mean, we seem pretty even when we're on the track. So I think it's just going to really depend on where we're at and which car. Like the Star Mazda, I had more time in, and you were struggling to get up to speed.
Yeah. No, the Star Mazda, you were faster. The prototype, you were faster.
But the IndyCar, you've been
IndyCar, GT3, I think I was a little faster in.
Yeah, you were.
So no, but yeah, overall we're pretty even, which is good. That makes things easier.
Yeah.
And yes, and Bruno here in chat, he's our teammate, and he's definitely helped us get faster.
Bruno is an alien.
He is.
So anyway, we got one more question. I think we're gonna wrap it up.
Sounds good.
Hey guys, what's a good starter rig for around $1,500? If you're just talking the rig for itself, I mean that's
You can buy a lot.
That's
for
much
that.
better than a starter rig.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of great rigs up to that particular price range. So anyway, Obutto, Next Level GT Ultimate, GT Omega Pro, the R-Seat. I mean, you can get all the way up to an R-Seat RS1, I think. So you have a lot of choices at $1,500.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm saying, what was the new R-Seat? Is the RS1 the new one?
No,
or was that the previous one?
N1.
The N1. The N1, I think it was going for $1,250. So that even kind of falls into the price range. And hopefully, I think we talked about possibly trying that rig out, right? About sending that over to us.
They said they were going to send us one.
Okay.
So wait, this R6201SK said he was the first one to answer that question. Let me see if we can go back.
Oh, I don't know if it's going to let us go back all over.
Oh, wait, here. Yeah, we can. Unless he's just BSing us.
So I think we were doing okay.
He got the car right.
And then does he get the track later? Because it was car and track.
No, it was the car and the track.
Yes.
No, I'm sorry, buddy. You were not the first one to name both. It was the two people that we mentioned. You were the first to mention the car. Or maybe that's what he said in the chat.
No, maybe.
I'll tell you what. Since you were the first to mention the car, go ahead and email me and we'll give you a code too. We got like 10 of them, 9 of them left to give away.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So hold on. I think we had one more question that I wanted to ask here. Hold on. What?
Oh, no, go ahead.
It was directed at Angela. No, it wasn't about you two guys getting married. Hold on. I think it was, what does Angela think about sim racing?
Well, she did do some driving on my my rig earlier, and got to check out the 35-inch BenQs, which I think her comment was, why do you need 3 of these? Like, one's enough. and she was doing a good job driving the new MX-5 in iRacing backwards around Charlotte. So, but I mean, she wasn't crashing. They had a little crash damage, but I mean, it was still running. It's going the wrong way, but still, I was proud of her.
She did good.
She was doing good. Well, then she jumped in the Audi, and she was doing even better with that. A little more downforce.
Okay, so I think that's going to wrap it up now. Wayne Francis, you watching Superman versus Batman? I might see it. I don't think I'm going to go pay to see it. I think I'll just rent it.
I have really little interest in that movie.
You know what? They've been showing more about it, and it looks a little more interesting, because I like the superhero stuff.
Yeah.
But
I do want to go see the new Captain America.
Yeah.
After I go and watch the last Captain America, because I'm just so far behind on all movies.
If you guys can hear Charlie up there. And then one person's asking, why am I having to go to physical therapy? That new sim racing cockpit looks like it would fix you up quickly. No, actually, that's making it worse. And mainly because it's just that AccuForce is so heavy. But anyway, now that's going to wrap things up. We got to go film that Track Racer RS8, and I got to go tell Charlie to shut up. So anyway, that's going to wrap things up. Thank you so much for joining us today. Sorry about the issues early on. It looks like we got up to 300. Someone's at the door.
Oh, that's it.
Actually, John, why don't you wrap it up? I'll go get the door.
Okay, so while Darren goes and answers the door and Charlie barks away, thanks again for watching. Thanks for coming over. Your mic's off, right? Thanks for coming over to this week Inside Sim Racing Part 2, because we're not sure what happened that first time around, PCs, all that fun stuff. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next week, and send questions in when we interview Renato from Riza Studios. So thanks for watching. See you guys.